Before I discuss the presentation, I just wanted to give you kind of an overview, like when I started. So I started in January 27th was the exact day I started. And I started this journey because of all the problems I had during cross country. And the presentation will pretty much discuss the description, why I started, the problems I had, the solutions I used to solve those problems, the rewards from it, and most importantly, why I did it, and everything in between. So I hope you guys like the presentation, and good luck on all of your presentations and videos as well. So today I'll be talking about my final journey, the FODMAP diets. So the description of the FODMAP diet. FODMAP stands for fermented osteoarthritis disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyolefins. These are types of carbohydrates that can be poorly absorbed in the small intestine and may cause gas and bloating when fermented in the large intestine. Many things to stay away from: gluten, dairy, seasoning, and high sugar products is what I would describe it in short term. For my lunch, sample meal was chicken and rice, and I consistently ate that pretty much every day. And with that, I had no flare-ups. The goal of the FODMAP diet was to have no flare-ups throughout the whole process, completely cleaning away bacteria in my stomach and giving me the full cleanse. So the decision to take the challenge. So throughout most of my cross-country season, I dealt with consistent flare-ups, consistently struggling to be able to eat foods, especially in the dining hall. And especially with that, I had struggled with dairy, gluten, and seasonings on meat. In the past, when I was little, I had migraines of the stomach. And with that, I did not realize as you got older, it would develop into IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Overall, I just wanted my body to feel better, so I tried to cleanse myself, holding on to this for 12 weeks, consistently following every single diet and every single plan that I made for myself every day. I started this challenge late in January, and over the time, I spent 2 hours looking for groceries in one day at Woodman's, but it was worth it in the end. Through the journey, my goals was I wanted just to feel better. I wanted to be able to live life not feeling like I had gas all the time, and actually wake up having my stomach feel okay. I wanted to discover which foods sat best in my stomach for race day. I did not finish 2 races last year, and it completely took me out for most of my year. So I really wanted just to get back, be competitive, and do whatever I could for the team. I achieved this goal by eating the same things pretty much every day. So for breakfast, I'd have eggs, along with some oatmeal, and I'd put some peanut butter in it. For lunch, I usually would either eat chicken and rice, or I'd eat Amy's gluten-free mac and cheese. And then for dinner, I would also have another thing of chicken and rice, or mac and cheese, or I would have gluten-free bread with peanut butter and bananas. Eating on race day, I found that specific foods like oatmeal actually sat the best in my stomach. So barriers throughout the process. The most common one for me was just not eating enough. I felt like throughout the process, you were so limited in what you could eat, and throughout the time, I just wanted to make sure I would have no flare-ups. So I would pretty much stay away from everything. And that's what I found to be most difficult. I also found it hard when I'd go to a fast food restaurant, and there would literally be nothing I could eat. So I pretty much would just get French fries because potatoes is low in FODMAPs. So with that, I was able to just have that and not worry about eating chicken and fried food just because that made my stomach flare up. It also was just hard being able to particularly eat pretty much anything. Like, I wasn't able to drink very much either. Like, pretty much the only liquid I drank throughout the process was water. So the solutions to that. I faced it by consistently eating the same things every day. As I said before, I really did not stray away from chicken and rice and all that other stuff. I continued to tell myself it will get me better and it will help me for the future. And I also just continued to read food labels, and I actually downloaded an app, Monash University FODMAP Diet, It helps you, it kind of takes you like through each food label, what it means, what is it high in, and then it kind of allowed me to kind of go through and be like, oh, this is something I can eat. And I use that when I would go grocery shopping. The best part was the transformation part. I finally started to feel better. After the 12 weeks, I could finally start eating foods again. I felt more energetic, I felt less fatigued, and I had no more gas, no more constipation, and I also did not have any episodes of where I would get sick, which was huge for me because I struggled with that in the past. I also started to feel better mentally because I knew I accomplished something for my health that could benefit me long in the future. So the first objective fulfilled was I correlated the relation between nutrition, physiology, and enhancement of health. By following the low FODMAP diet, I learned firsthand how nutrition directly impacts digestive health and overall well-being. Eliminating high FODMAP foods helped reduce bloating, stomach pain, and fatigue, allowing me to understand how food affects my body system like the gut and immune function. Through this, I saw how proper nutrition can enhance energy levels, mood, and my overall performance. This was the best part of the journey for me, finally being able to run and not have that severe pain in my stomach. So the second objective, apply health concepts to enhance healthy behavior to prevent the development of chronic disease. So sticking to this structured eating plan taught me the importance of consistency, planning, and mindful eating habits that can reduce long-term inflammation and prevent chronic diseases like IBS. IBS is something that I'm never going to get rid of, but it is something that I can neutralize with sticking with this diet. Food intolerance and even stress-related illness can also correlate with this, so following this diet can help improve all those facets. This diet also helped me adopt a more intentional relationship with food. Not just grabbing something out of the shelf and just eating it, and actually looking at the food label saying, is this good for my health? Is this good for my stomach? Improving my long-term gut health and overall lifestyle was very important. The third objective fulfilled, identify and develop positive strategies to deal with various stressors in my life. Managing a restrictive diet for 12 weeks was both mentally and socially challenging. Like I said before, it was hard to go out and get fast food, and it was really difficult just to eat the same things every single day. I developed positive coping strategies like meal prepping, grocery shopping, journaling symptoms, and practicing self-discipline. These strategies helped reduce anxiety around food and gave me a sense of control over my body and health and stress once again. So my goals for the future. As I look into the future, I hope to continue to stay with a consistent diet, whether it be just sticking with healthy foods and figuring out what sits best in my stomach. I will continue to run and I will continue to get miles in, hopefully for the rest of my life or until I can't run no more. I will continue to journal and I will continue to meditate for my mental health. I think mental health is such an important thing, and I think people really don't realize how much stress can take into account your physical symptoms. I will also continue to build strength in my body by doing core exercises, weightlifting exercises, and rehab exercises to keep myself away from injury during cross-country season. Overall, I will just continue to better myself both physically and mentally every day and keep reaching journeys every single year. Thank you. So I figured with the presentation I kind of discussed like what foods I ate, but I think it's more of like that beneficial to actually have a visual concept of this. So this is pretty much what I had. I would have peanut butter, and like I said, I'd use that with my oatmeal. And a lot of times I would use this bread. It's Udi's gluten-free bread. It's at Woodman's, and I'd use that every single day to make like a sandwich or something just for lunch. For dinner, I would use diced potatoes, microwavable potatoes, all things that I could do from my dorm room with just using a microwave, which was kind of nice. And then with that, I went home and I was with my mom, and we went to Costco and got bags. We stored turkey and chicken in here, and that kind of was something that I used pretty much daily.
that is low in FODMAPs. And then with that, some additional foods. I have tortilla chips. That was my go-to snack. Just didn't have any barely seasonings on it, just salt, so it sat super well in my stomach. And then with that, I also would get shrimp, and I would use that to make shrimp tacos, something to just add some carbs in my diet, also with protein. Then probably the main staple was Amy's mac and cheese, microwavable mac and cheese. I got it from Woodman's, and it was just super easy. Put it in a microwave, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, and it's all good. And then with that, I just wanted to share, I think in life there's a lot of people that struggle with certain things, and I think this course truly helped bring us a journey and try to reach it. I know for me, throughout the season, I went through constant stuff. I had to get a colonoscopy, I got blood work done every week, and I just couldn't figure out the problem. And sometimes the problem is much simpler than you could think, but it just seems like such a big problem at the time. You think it's just something a lot bigger than what it is. So really, the main thing I'm saying here is look at what you do every day. I mean, sometimes your habits that you can make every single day can define what you do in the future. So eat right, know what you're putting in your system, and just be knowledgeable on everything that's around you. Thank you guys for watching this video, and good luck on the journeys forward.